Hi everyone, I am Martina. I'm working as sustainability specialist at the D Factory. And today with us we have Silvia Mazzanti, who's the product and sustainability manager at Save the Duck. And we are going to speak together about what does it mean to become a B Corp and why it's important to make this change happen in the fashion industry. So hi Silvia.
Hi Martina, nice to be guest by you.
Could you shortly present yourself and your company?
I have been working in the fashion business for over 20 years now, and I am originally a product manager. In this company, in Save the Duck, I had the chance to face and learn a new job. I have been chosen as the sustainability manager because the core business is strictly linked to sustainability. So the need was not to have an engineer specialized in high topics, but somebody who knew exactly how supply chain works to enhance sustainability themes and procedures inside the supply chain. So that's why I have been chosen. And Save the Duck, it's a fashion company. We produce mainly outerwear. We are specialized in puffers originally. It was the first product. And characteristic that we have, peculiarities that we are animal free, 100% animal cruelty free, we say, because we not only avoid the use of real down, but we never use any material coming from animal origin. So we can say that we are vegan. Our products are vegan. But they're not just for vegan, of course. What makes Save the Duck different from other companies? The fact that from our origin, the DNA has the aim of proposing fashion garments with technological contents, because our patents were coming from the tech world originally. They were not, this kind of patents were not used more than 10 years ago in fashion items. They were considered somehow or too technical or too poor for the fashion business. So we made this match, and we melted with the managing of supply chain that at the time was definitely different from what was used to be. We mainly produce in China, and we are proud to say that we have very long relationships. We don't work with companies just because they cost less, but because we have grown with them, and they are our partners and not just suppliers.
If you had to say really in few words, what's the real mission of Save the Duck?
Well, the mission is to spread this message of respecting animals, respecting the environment, and people. So these are our pillars. You can find everywhere, even on our garments, inside our garments, we print these messages. So we say we respect animals, we care for people, we love nature. So these are our pillars, and the vision is that of spreading this message and let people around, stakeholders around us know that it's possible to have another approach to fashion.
That's extremely important, and it's really close to what being a B Corp means. And so I'd like to ask you, when did you decide to become a B Corp and why?
Well, I've joined the company in 2017, and at the time, there were many things going on, activities going on about sustainability, but we didn't give disclosure to these activities, so stakeholders didn't really know all the things we were doing, and there were no strong structures about all these procedures. We were tracing supply chain, we were using certified materials, not impactful on the environment and so on, but nobody knew exactly how we were doing this. So we started looking around to available certifications around Italy especially, and the world. We considered ISO and others, private certifications from a small agency. Then our CEO, that is the founder and the creator, the mind and the heart of the company, came up to me and said, I think we have to strongly consider to become a B Corp. And so we jumped deeply into this tool and we started to work over the BIA, that it's the assessment that you have to fill to become a B Corp. And we saw that it was so complete and so holistic. It was the best way to declare, to analyze and to declare outside that you are doing sustainability on every department of your company. So that's why we choose B Corp.
Let's say that becoming a B Corp also means to have a change in your business model, in your company. So I'd like to ask you, how has your company changed after you joined B Corp?
I wouldn't say exactly change. I would say rather we evolved. Yeah. We evolved, we found so many inspirations in the BIA, and after the certification in the group of B Corps. As you know, we are having many meetings, we participate in many working groups. There's a lot to do. And the most inspiring thing is that you can do all these activities together with other companies, even from different sectors, and you're sharing knowledge, ideas, and proposals, enriching your own path towards sustainability. So becoming a B Corp meant that basically to us, to become stronger and to enhance new proposals, ideas, activities, mainly, that now are running just beside the core business of the company. So we are doing products, but we are doing also a lot of activities that had basically sometimes not a lot to do with it. Of course, there are many that are involving supply chain, and we're working hard about CO2 that obviously are linked to supply chain. But there are some others that are not so strictly linked to, like educational projects, but they're still important and are letting us grow as company, but also as people inside the company.
We may say that it's like a co-evolution process because you are engaging with a community. It's not just a certification, but it's a community that's working together to achieve an objective that is not strictly linked to your economic and core business activity, but is linked to bringing value to the community and a more, let's say, shared value.
Absolutely.
So it's also a different way of working, as you were saying. You're not only speaking about selling more your product, you're speaking about how can you educate the next generation to grow differently and have a different mindset, an open mindset.
It's a high task. It's a task to try to create something more important than simply products. It's to create a value, to become an example for others, not just other companies, but also people of the street, to improve for the world.
There's also another aspect that is more technical linked. You mentioned the B impact assessment. So every B Corp is assessed based on strict criteria, and so it involves a strong measurement and commitment towards transparency. How has your company handled all this certification process?
While I was completing the assessment, I thought we were taking so long to make it. But after being certified, I learned that we have been quite quick, indeed. Well, it was quite tough at the beginning because, as I said, we needed to structure and to create procedures. We had just practical activities, but not procedures. So what we realized that we needed was to give a clear traceability, a written one that could last for long and be an example for all the stakeholders, the inside stakeholders involved in our activities, to know how to deal with all the processes that we are leading. It was difficult on that side because we had to prepare all this material before completing the assessment. And the other difficulty I found was that the general approach of some part of the assessment are a little bit too US oriented. And this is something that even B-Lab realized. They are a worldwide tool. They cannot be too linked to the US political structure and legal structure. So during the last years, we participated also to meetings with B-Lab to enhance the tool that is indeed changing from time to time and improving, and try to create a more international one that doesn't take into consideration what is too typical from the American market.
That can really fit the different nations and regulations also.
Exactly. Not easy.
Not easy. So I'd like to ask you, we are speaking about a difficulty, a challenge you faced, but I'd like to ask you in a more broader sense, which have been the most difficult challenges you have faced throughout the entire journey that is still on progress, because B Corps are certified every year and you try to strive to improve your score and try to do better. So which have been the challenges you faced?
Well, apart from this technical one, probably the first challenge was, and the hardest one was related to the first time I failed the BIA. When we were doing it by ourselves alone, it's never a good idea. Because you need help. And luckily there are structures that can help you and support you to understand the tool. It's not easy at the beginning. You have to measure everything and to relate about all the activities of your company. In the complexity, in general, is not easy. So being alone has been a task at the beginning. Then I found the support here in Italy of Nativa. They looked for us indeed. I didn't know they existed. They were existing, not even existing. So that was a great help for us to overcome any difficulties of interpretation inside the analysis of the assessment.
I think Nativa is helping almost all the Italian B Corps to really fulfill the assessment.
Great team.
So now getting to the fashion industry, why do you think that fashion companies should be certified B Corp, and how that can also help the industry changing its attitude?
They all should become B Corps because it's the best way to understand where you are in the sustainability path, seriously where you are. The actual problem is that everyone is doing his own path. There are no proper laws or directions, unique directions, and the interpretation is so individual that is causing big problems at the whole sector. It's very easy and happens very, very often that when you hear talking people about fashion and sustainability, it means it's immediately linked to greenwashing. But because every company is talking about sustainability, every fashion company is basically talking about sustainability in its own way. B Corps can help the whole sector to have a unique and vision, and to drive all the companies towards a different business model, a different way of facing the business in general, to have this approach to benefit and not only to business. It's not, as you were saying, just a matter of selling more items, more products. This will not last, cannot be the future for our children and for young generations. This is not possible. It cannot last like this. So especially the fashion business, I always say we are not doctors, we are not saving lives, we are just doing piece of fabrics, selling piece of fabrics. So we have to create a different value to let people understand that if they choose a product that is coming from a sustainable, responsible, more than sustainable, a responsible company, that makes the difference. His choice can make the difference for the whole world. So that's why if other companies will join, we will always be happy. We can share knowledge, we can share good practices and improve to impact less during our processes. To stakeholders that it's possible to make different choices and better choices.
As you mentioned, sharing best practices and good practices, I'd like to ask you 3 best practices you would like to share with all the fashion companies from your own experience.
About being a B Corp, well, as I said, being in the whole system taught us to organize better all our procedures, and also how to communicate, how to pass our message to stakeholders. It seems not very important, but indeed it is. There are many ways how you can communicate what you're doing. The awareness of communicating in the right way came directly from this experience. And another one is also a positive thing that came up, the relationship with stakeholders, especially the direct ones inside the company, and our sales force, our partners, users. We definitely started to approach even better the relationship with them. So I would say basically these 3 things can be good practices that we learn.
Communication, stakeholders, and measurement. So you learn how to measure what you're doing in the direction you should go towards. So as there are best practices to share, there are also practices to avoid. So could you tell us 3 things you have learned to avoid as you went through the impact assessment process?
As I was mentioning, individuality. We learned to go over individuality, to go out of our nutshell, and to share. We started to share. Coming from the business of fashion, as you can imagine or you perfectly know, usually there are this feeling of keeping secrets and not sharing. There's always this scare of or strong feeling of competitiveness among fashion companies.
Absolutely.
We have to overcome all this. It's an old way of considering fashion. So we learned to go out of our nutshell and to share. It was something we were doing too. So it was hard to break the shell. And another thing, we realized we were dealing with our documents in a very messy way. It has been important. It's clear that procedures are just formal documents, but when you are structuring a procedure, you are also somehow changing the way you're arranging and organizing your inside procedures and routine. So we learned how to avoid this messy way, probably even also because we're growing as a company and we're becoming adults. Point of view. Last thing, we learned also to consider not only the headquarters activities, but we learned to consider also as topic and fundamental activities the ones of all the stakeholders that we have around. Also, for instance, our representative office in China and all the producers that are working with us in a strong sense. We created a stronger sense of interconnection, and so obviously of interdependency, that it's a strong word for all of us.
Absolutely. I think it is one of the essential points, because people see the product and they think that the company that is selling the products should be sustainable, but what is behind the product, no one can see it. What's in the supply chain that is extremely important for creating the value of the product itself, producing it, and what is happening there also is important. So this interdependency is a fundamental aspect. And here it is the last question for you, and we are done. What changes would you like to see in the fashion industry in the next few years?
Well, first of all, I would like to see and to have rules and laws to organize the way we report, and so that we can have all the same way of reporting about emissions, about impacts in general. This is fundamental. It's not belonging to us, it's not on us, the responsibility of doing this, but luckily the UN and the European community are working hard in that sense, and this is involving fashion. For sure, what I would like to see, it's much more engagement from fashion companies and less selfness. They're too selfish. Many of them, they feel they're more important because, for instance, this is something I heard from a very important Italian company once in a meeting. We are producing high fashion and very exclusive products. We cannot be confused with ready-to-wear companies. This is not correct. We are all working in the same field. We are all producing garments. So even if you are a very exclusive producer or a ready-to-wear producer, we're facing the same problems. The supply chain, more or less, is the same. And the emissions, the chemical impacts, it's the same. The water usage, so less selfishness.
More cooperation and evolution.
Cooperation, yeah, but the mindset has to change.
The mindset.
From fashion companies, they have to start to learn how to share and to become more open-minded, for sure.
Thank you, Silvia. It was extremely interesting to speak with you.